Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. Coming to you from the inside of the house today because it's a little windy and rainy outside. Excited to show you what we've got going on today. It's a project we've been working on since June of 2019. So this project we've been working on is only made possible due to a voter referendum that was passed back in November of 2018. And while this might sound a little strange, that referendum was to allow the use of recreational marijuana here in the state of Michigan. Now, what this did do for people like me is this allows me to grow up to 12 cannabis plants on my property. So the only thing that separates hemp from cannabis, the only thing that separates marijuana from hemp is that hemp is going to have a THC content of less than 0.3%. Now, I don't really support the idea of people going around smoking marijuana, but what I do support is the idea of people like me and other homesteaders to be able to make the decision as to whether or not we would like to grow hemp on our property. Now, what are some of the benefits of growing hemp? Well, honestly, I'm sure everybody's heard about CBD, right? Hemp is where CBD comes from. Now, some strains of marijuana have CBD also, but it's also always going to be balanced with a high level of THC, which is the part that messes with your brain. But CBD has been known to have all kinds of therapeutic effects for people with mental disorders, people with nervous system disorders, people with digestive disorders like me, people with skin disorders, joint pain, you name it, CBD has been shown to be beneficial for that. Another benefit of hemp is that it's actually a very highly nutritious plant. We have actually been feeding leaf clippings to our rabbits for the last few months here. So this is October. So we start them in June, July, August, September, October. So we're about 4 months into this project. We've been feeding the greens to the rabbits and they enjoy it. And also, it's a great nutritional green for them. It's high in a lot of vitamins and minerals, high in protein, and a lot of good dietary fiber for them. So using the hemp leaves as a live green or even as a hay is a good way to supplement some of your feeding for rabbits. It's also great for other livestock. Now, we're also going to be looking at ways we can use this hemp here on our homestead. So, like I said, we're going to be feeding the greens to the rabbits. I actually enjoy nibbling on the greens every once in a while. They've kind of got a little bit of a piney, citrusy flavor. I kind of enjoy it. So the cannabis plant, or hemp plant, as we're growing here, comes in two different types of plant. They are a variety of plant where there's a male plant and a female plant. So what I've got here is the two different types to show you, the two different genders of plant. So this is a female plant. This is one that most people are going to associate with what looks like a marijuana plant. This is where the flowers are, or the bud. These ones are just about done for the year. We're going to be ready to harvest these here in the next week or so. They'll get dried out and we will either use them to feed to the rabbits because we did allow these to germinate with the male plant. So they're going to have seeds in them, which is going to be a very high protein source. This is the male plant. So you'll notice that the male plant gets a little more bushy than the female plant. The female plants have a tendency to be a little more compact and upright. So here's another female plant. So as you can see, very compact and upright coming off of a single stem. And the male plants have a tendency to branch out. Now you're going to get some branching on the female plants also. It just depends upon what kind of exposure they're having to the sunlight. Now, what are we going to use the rest of the plants for besides what we're going to feed to the animals? Well, got a lot of ideas floating around, and we'll have some videos coming out on those as the days go on. Well, weeks go on, because honestly it might take me some time to get this stuff made. Because first we've got to cut it and cure it. And we're going to be doing harvesting and drying. Okay, also just a disclaimer, as I already said, I am not an expert on this. I am learning as I go. There's not a lot of resources for people doing small hemp growing in their homes. And most of the people who grow small batches of the other stuff aren't quick to share. So, we're going to harvest all 3 of our female plants today and 2 of our male plants. And the other 2 male plants we're going to leave outside. We're going to feed those green until they're stripped plants. The awesome thing about the female plants is not only do they have a large bud here on the top, but they also have buds extending all the way down to the base. So pretty much every branch has got a small bud on it. So it's increased the amount of material that will be drying and curing. Okay, there we go. All the hemp has been harvested and is up on the rack. It's going to stay on this rack for probably 8 to 10 days until moisture content is down between 12 and 14%. It's going to be kind of difficult to measure that, but I'm going to do my best to do that as time goes on. Now the key here is not to let it dry too fast, because we don't want it turning brown or yellow on us. We want it to just age kind of like hay. So it's going to go in an area of the house that's not too warm, not too cold. We might put a fan on it here and there just to try to remove the moisture, but without it drying out too quickly. All right, I think that about does it for today. If you're interested in what we're going to be doing with this and how the process is going to go, make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming Hemp on the Homestead videos. Thank you so much, and as always, God bless. Play dead. Play dead. Play dead. Stay.